Hi everyone, welcome back. Sorry about the little 2-week hiatus I didn't post. I'll explain later, but yeah. Today's video is just going to be about all those orchids that I showed you last time that were in bud or in bloom, and I was just going to show you where they're at now. Alright, well first things first, you probably noticed that this isn't my normal setup. I actually did move. I'm now living in dorms on campus, which is not a bad thing. I'm actually going to be moving my greenhouse on campus, so it should be a really good setup, really accommodating. But that's just kind of so that you guys know that. Now I guess we'll just get on with the flowers because that's the important part. So all of these are like those orchids that I showed you guys a couple weeks ago that were either in bud or in bloom, and I'm just gonna show you guys where they're at now. So I guess we'll just start down here. This is the Miltonia spectabilis that I had that was in bud. The flower did kind of get ravaged a little bit when it was in the greenhouse. I think something might have fallen on it. But other than that, I mean, the flower's super pretty. The petals kind of curl back a little bit, but that's okay. The color's really amazing. It smells really great in the morning. I'm not sure how to identify the fragrance, but it's really wonderful. I love the color on it. As for the growths themselves, they really aren't recovering very much. Still, they're just extremely crinkled from when I purchased it. I'm not really sure how well they're going to do. They haven't grown much at all, so I'm kind of losing hope for the new growths. Kind of hoping that maybe it'll gain some energy and put out some new ones. The pseudobulbs have kind of become pretty thin as well. I mean, it's still got 2 more buds coming. This one actually just gained some color today. It's kind of getting that purple to it, so I mean, it looks promising. It should flower still. There's that one bud in the back. The sheaths on this one are kind of a little bit wrinkled. I don't know if it's going to trap the bud in there. But I mean, other than that, the flower looks really great. I love the color. The color in real life is a little bit more pink. I mean, we're kind of backlit here. But the purple on it is really amazing. I love the center, how it gets a little bit lighter in the center. It kind of creates that focal point right into the middle. But that's that Miltonia spectabilis. This is that... Ooh, I always forget the name on this. Cochleanthes, or anyways, the Andreanesin, the one that grew second bud that I wasn't really anticipating. The bud's growing, not extremely fast. I mean, I'm not too worried about it. It should bloom. I'll give you guys an update when it does, but there's that one. This is that little Papapedalum that I got at Trader Joe's a while ago that surprised me with a bud. And I'm actually kind of excited for this one because if you can see, there's a little secondary bud that might develop if I take care of it well enough. It's kind of hiding, and I think this one actually had a second bud when I bought it initially, and I think I broke it off on accident. So I'm going to be really careful with this one. I really hope I can get that one to bloom as well, just hiding under there. But there's that one. My other Papapedalum that I got to rebloom. This is my first Papapedalum I ever bought. Again, sorry, we're kind of backlit. But it's super pretty. Let me see if I can get a little better light for this one. Just because the colors are so dark. But it's got that really great dark maroon. Wow, we even got better lighting and it's hard to see because of the colors. But it's got the really dark maroon. This one kind of got ravaged by mealybugs, I discovered, as the flower was developing. So I had to constantly pick them out of the bud and make sure they weren't damaging it. But the flower is really pretty. I love it. We're actually going to save this Phalaenopsis for last because there's a funny story that goes along with that one. I guess we'll work our way up, all the way up. This is a no ID dendrobium that I bought maybe a year and a half ago. One of the first dendrobiums I ever bought just because it was really big and I liked it and it was only $5. I never got to see the flower on it, so here we go. Super pretty flower. I mean, I was surprised. It's kind of a more generic one that they would get at that specific garden center, but I do love the flowers. I don't know, they just kind of look like they're waving hello. They're kind of spunky. Again, sorry about the backlighting. You can see the color a little bit more accurately on the back of those ones. Some of them are really curly, as you can tell. It's kind of cute. But yeah, I mean, I really only managed to lose one bud, as you can see right there. All the other ones are turning out. That one's looking a little yellow. I think it should be okay though. But yeah, the color on it's really pretty. Let me see if I can get you around here. There we go. Super great blooms. I love it. The new growth is coming along nice and chubby. Here, let's get around here. Nice and chubby new growth on it. Looks like it should keep growing for a while. I don't know if it's going to compete with this big old growth that it had, but it should turn out okay. We'll move on to my Miltonia Sunset. It still has all the flowers that it had last time. They're kind of fading. The pink's not quite as vibrant anymore. As you can see on this one of the older flowers, the lip is pretty much a faded creamy pink now. It does have a new spike as well. It's only got 3 flowers on it, but that's okay. This one I actually did treat for spider mites. I followed the Danny routine and used a really light oil, but it seemed to absorb into the leaves regardless, and so there's a couple leaves that I'm kind of worried about that are kind of drooping down that I think I might lose, but I'm pretty sure the spider mites are gone, so that's what's important. I don't care if I lose a couple leaves. But that's that one. It's also got that solo flower in the back, but just kind of doing its own thing. We'll move on. This is my Echinopsis Dominos. This one is also struggling with mealybugs. It got them and I totally neglected it, didn't even see the mealybugs. And so of course they went straight to the buds and they kind of stunted the growth for a while, but the buds are now extending, so I think it should be okay. That little one down there is looking a little bit sad. I don't know if that one's gonna make it, but if I get 2 buds out of this one, I will be totally happy. Moving on, this is the Miltonia Shelobtolkien that I actually did the repotting video on, and it actually surprised me with a 3rd spike after repotting, so that's kind of interesting. A lot of people were worried about the buds making it, and they are opening and just happy as a clam. This spike actually I think developed a little bit better than the other one. I'll show you, this is the first one that opened. These flowers are a little bit smaller. I don't know if it has to do with the growth that they're on or the conditions that they received, but the flowers are a little bit smaller, as you can tell, as compared to these ones. You can just see the span on them. Still super pretty, love the flowers on them. Just give you a good look. There you go. It's kind of struggling. I mean, it was holding up okay after repotting, but I'll just show you. The pseudobulbs are really shriveling. I mean, I'm trying to keep it nice and watered, but I'm doing everything I can, guys. I think it'll be okay, but it's just struggling as for now. You can just see all the wrinkles on it, but it's okay. I love the flowers. I hate to do it, but I might cut that 3rd spike just because these flowers are already open, so I don't know how much it would help to cut these spikes. But I might cut the 3rd one. I don't really need a 3rd spike. I'll just enjoy these ones and save the orchid some energy just so it can retain some more water. And I think that's all of these ones that I have in here except for this Phalaenopsis. And I saved this one for last just because it's doing a really funny thing that I want to show with you guys because it's really interesting. So I'll just show you this guy for now while I explain. So I bought this hybrid phal at Home Depot, and it was a really pretty big lip phal because I'm really into them right now. And so the flowers looked like this when I bought it. Really pretty. It's got the speckling all over, great colors on it. It's a big lip, so I love it, but it rebloomed, and that's what the first flower looked like. Now, I mean, it may not seem like that big of a difference, but look, these are 2 completely different flowers. Still a big lip, and it's still got the same basic color on it, but look at how it's missing all these dots. And so that first flower opened, it looked like that, and I was kind of thrown off because I was like, well, I don't remember it looking like that. And then I opened this one, which again is similar to what it originally looked like, but there's still obvious differences. I mean, the spots aren't quite as large, and there isn't that white highlight around the spots, as you can see. It's all just kind of that solid pink color, but I mean, it's just really interesting to me. I don't know, each flower is different, kind of cool. I mean, especially the drastic change from this one. So it's got 1 more bud on it, as you can tell. This one looks like it's going to be spotted. It got a little damage on it. It looks like it's going to be spotted, which is good. But I'm just curious to see how it turns out, because I mean, it'd just be interesting to have a random hybrid phal that has all these different flowers that it can produce. Alright, well, once again, thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll try and keep you guys updated as I move the greenhouse here. It should be a little bit of a project, so there should be something that I can make a video about. But it should be a really good setup for me and really productive now that I'm on campus and settled in. If you like this video, give it a like, leave me a comment if you have any questions, anything like that. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys.